I'm not really sure if we knew what we got ourselves into from all the places we've been to. Like this whole area, just wow. Can't wait for the next thing we do. Shit, everything's frozen. If you would ask me where I spent the best time of my life, and if you would ask where and when I did spend it specifically, I would have to answer Wanaka. But even though Wanaka is beautiful, famous for its views, famous for this particular Instagram spot, and for some reason famous for a tree in the water, it turns out I did not always feel this way. Kind of to my surprise, really. And I'll get to this. But it all started when we left Franz Josef. Moving slowly along the highway. Taking our time. Basically, unable to put the camera away. I think that's what you call location sickness. Moving on until we reach a lake, stretching for kilometers to come, accompanied by mountains everywhere we would look. And none of that helped with our location sickness. And it is somewhat interesting, you know? Basically, I didn't film much, I only filmed certain moments and certain activities. And you might think that this kind of distorts the memory, because I only captured a portion of it, right? But it actually doesn't. For instance, having captured how calm and content I felt in that one camp spot. Is enough to remember how relaxed our time has been overall. Well, pretty much except for the day we almost froze over at an 8-hour night hike. It was October and it was cold. We layered everything up we had clothes-wise, which wasn't much. Raincoats were the warmest layer we had at the time, so weather definitely was essential for us during this hike. And for the longest time, we have been lucky.
It's slippery.
Until we got caught in a cloud and it started to snow and rain, or I don't even remember honestly. I just remember being exhausted after hiking for 4 hours in the freaking dark, in the freezing cold, in the middle of the night. I just had enough. It was time to turn back. And then it literally dawned upon us. The weather cleared up, Not completely, but enough to keep going, enough to keep moving, and we had the rising sun in our backs.
Second try. Second try. Whoop, ice. Whoop, slippery.
But what we didn't have was any clue what we were walking into.
Summit. I'm sorry if you cannot really see or hear me. I'm not really sure if we knew what we got ourselves into.
What you see happening there, all that blur, is the lens of the camera freezing up. The same was happening to my glasses and basically everything we had with us. I don't really know how exactly, but somehow we walked from freezing cold into below zero without realizing it until we reached the cloudy top. Unfortunately, we got no views, no sunrise, no reward whatsoever.
Shit, everything's frozen.
It was time to turn back eventually and walk into the most amazing experience.
Whoa, tripped.
What is it? I mean, I was pretty sure in the way that it's going to be epic, but I didn't think it would turn out like this.
Almost. Let's do that again.
So I want to be honest with you. I don't know if it really was as bad as I'm making it or as bad as I'm remembering it. Maybe we have just been tired, exhausted. I don't know. We met some Australian hikers on the way back down and they were wearing nothing but tank tops and shorts, so I don't know, you tell me. But it definitely has been one of the loveliest experiences ever. The demanding, tiresome struggle up to the top, as much as the relaxing relief of coming back down.
New Zealand is just so ridiculous in so many ways. From all the places we've been to, this was by far, like this whole area. Wow. Can't wait for the next thing we do.
So, what do you do after such an experience? You rest, of course, for a day or so before starting another 6 to 7 hour hike up to the place everyone tells you to go.
Hey, what's up? We're doing Royce Peak today after doing the Isthmus Peak. Wow.
I was definitely biased regarding this hike. Isthmus Peak has been a recommendation of friends, and I mean, you just saw it. How do you beat that? Royce Peak definitely is another hike. For instance, there's definitely more sheep.
Don't look at me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Definitely more tourists. And it is definitely a less exciting track. Basically, it is 6 to 7 hours of serpentine.
Left and right and going left and right and left and right and left and right and left and right and left and right.
Left and right and up and down. Up and down.
Not very exciting, not very diverse, not very interesting. Serves its purpose though.
But I won't lie, the view very early on is beautiful.
Even though the way is boring but exciting, boring but exhausting, the view definitely is something.
And it just kept getting better and better.
That's one thing that actually is very, very enjoyable about walk up here is that the higher you get up, the more mountains you start to see.
Rocket science. The further up you go, the more you can see. Wow. Oh boy. And here we are. Royce Peak. Famous Instagram spot. Casual exercise track for locals, pinnacle of the Wanaka tourism experience, and literally the header image of this YouTube channel. As well as my framed inspiration and motivation in everyday life. But here is the best part. This is not the best part.
Next up, summit.
Many people, if not most, apparently only go to the photo spot, but they do not go the extra mile, all the way up to the summit, which, if you ever get the chance, is a must. You can hike and climb the rest of the way on the ridge of the mountain. Until you eventually reach the top.
Calling me because apparently it is amazing over there. You're just smiling like,
What is it? What have you found here? Oh my god.
wow. Just wow. Wow. Man. We just had so many good experiences lately. That's just
Was I afraid that Roy's Peak would maybe disappoint me after our little adventure the day before? Yeah, I was. But did it? No, not at all. I did not even think about comparing it because there was nothing to compare it to. This was another incredible experience, another incredible memory. Another incredible memory of the best time of my life so far.
This is the best ever. New Zealand, every day, it's just getting so much better. How could you not? I was about to say, how could you not love that, but then I tripped and hope that didn't take too much out of it. How can you not love that? How can you not love that?
And here comes the surprising part. When I think back to Wanaka today, I remember only the good stuff. I remember it in a way that makes me want to leave the country I'm living in right now. It makes me want to move and to live there. But apparently, when we moved on to Queenstown, another beautiful place, with another huge and beautiful lake, I was thinking differently.
So what I actually like about Queenstown, it's a little bit touristy though. It still just feels like a town to me, like Sam Town, Sound City, where Wakanda? No, that's Black Panther. Oh my god, how's it called? Wanaka? Wanaka? We've just been there today. Never mind. Where Wanaka felt a little bit different. Maybe just because it was small, because it's actually not very much of a tourist town. It just has a population of about 9,000 people. But on the other hand, tourists just stand out so much more.
We spent way less time in Queenstown. We experienced less. But for some reason, back then, Wanaka did not seem to be as much of a gem to me. I think this in particular is a very good example for hindsight bias. Hindsight is 20/20, they say. But actually, most of the time, hindsight is bullshit. Yes, you can only connect the dots looking backwards, but there is no all-knowing future self or almighty entity that has put these dots in place. They just happen to be there, and looking back is less about finding meaning than actively creating it. Knowing that, photos and footage do not distort our memory. They actually help to remember and sometimes even correct or readjust our mental image.
I know that Queenstown actually is quite a touristy spot. I mean, let's be for real. You can ski here, you can bike here. It's a holiday place, and I know that it's just New Zealand itself is just such a damn beauty. I love this place. I love every day here.
Where on the other hand, reliant only on our memories, we are capable of altering the image of our past to an extent that literally has nothing to do with reality. We don't remember facts. We remember feelings. And when I think about Wanaka, I remember feeling happy. I remember feeling at ease. I remember encountering the sublime. I remember feeling at home. But that's not real. That's in my head, and partly it is in my heart, but that's in the past. And I'm sitting right here, right now, living in a place that does not feel like home. Unsatisfied. Connecting the dots. And looking back at the best time of my life. They have a proverb in Germany, seekers seek, finders find. And for the longest time, I believe you need to be the latter to be successful in life. You have to know what you want, and then you have to get it. But that's not me. I've become content identifying as someone who seeks out the unknown, who longs for novelty, who dares to dream and slowly but surely becomes impatient to do something irresponsibly exciting again. To start another adventure. It may be true that seekers seek and finders find, but it is true as well when they say, be content, but never be satisfied.
This is really hard after hiking for 4 hours.